ChatGPT just recently opened their GPT store. Is this the new AI gold rush? Now, I'm sure you've been hearing all about how to make money with the ChatGPT store. We're going to take a look at that, but we're also just going to talk in general about how to use ChatGPT to make money, but also take a look at what the future holds for building your own GPT and thinking like a marketer and using that store or the ChatGPT store once you create your own GPT to think about getting people over to your own site to generate leads or to get them used to interacting with your brand. Here is OpenAI.com. This is introducing the GPT store. If you want to explore the GPTs, you can click here and it takes you over to ChatGPT, or you can just click here to explore the GPTs. And this opens up the GPT store where you can see here at the top, they have DALL-E, writing, productivity, research and analysis, programming, education, and lifestyle. These are some of the categories that they've listed GPTs, and you can take a look at some of the GPTs in the store that have already been created and have been marked as public. Now, that's one of the things as well is when you go to create your own GPT, when you select the green button here and you start to create your own GPT, you can use the GPT builder or you can configure your own GPT. Then they have a spot here to add a name, a description, and give it instructions on what you want the ChatGPT to do, or the GPT specific to the thing that it is or the context that you're setting for the chat. You can see here, you can also add conversation starters, you can upload files, you can select the different capabilities, web browsing, DALL-E image generator, as well as the code interpreter, and then you can set actions. Now, this is really where the money is going to come in as far as setting the different actions. This is where you add or you start adding programming or doing things programmatically, meaning that you are adding value to the GPT. So if you were to go back again to create and you were to just use the ChatGPT builder, I'll give you an example of one of the GPTs that I created. It's a silly example, and you can see here in the left-hand sidebar, the public GPT, but the one you create or your own GPTs, is, even if you don't set them as public, you click them here or you click here and it opens up your GPT. And you can see here that I have set up an Elvis Chat King. Chat like Elvis Presley, turning responses into rock and roll style focused on TCP or taking care of business, as Elvis would say. Now, you can see here that it gives me some suggestions, and I used the GPT builder to build this for me. But the idea here is you would start to create a piece of content here, and that piece of content, the context has been set, or if you were using the regular GPT or just the standard Chat GPT interface, you would set the context. You would add a prompt that would tell ChatGPT that you wanted to chat like Elvis Presley. But then you would say something like this. We'll go ahead and say, write me a description for a YouTube video titled The Best Way to Make Money with ChatGPT. And Elvis Chat King is going to go into creating the content, but doing it the way that Elvis would say it. Thank you very much for dropping by, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me lay down for you in true Elvis style for your video, The Best Way to Make Money. A video that's going to shake, rattle, and roll your world with some serious moolah making magic. Now, again, if I was to just take this back and open up a new chat, again, the default ChatGPT session, and then add that in here with no context, it's simply going to take that input and it's just going to write a vanilla standard description for that video titled The Best Way to Make Money with ChatGPT. Now, understand that Elvis Chat King is a very silly example, but it's also an example that provides a very distinct, or it's very easy to see what you're doing when you create a custom GPT to deliver an output based upon just you giving it a simple input without having to tell it to act like Elvis. You know that everything inside of the Elvis Chat King is going to get you a response like Elvis Presley would say it. Again, rock and roll style, focused on TCB or taking care of business. But I also understand that this could never be a public chat. I couldn't share this and put it on the public marketplace, and I could never make money from this because I'm using the word Elvis inside of the GPT. Because one of the things that you need to understand is there are certain things or rules, regulations, policies, guidelines that you have to follow. And GPTs and ChatGPT, one of the things that you may not do, as you see here, is you may not use another organization's trademark, or additionally, names referencing public figures, profanity, and harmful topics are prohibited, and you cannot use them to make a GPT. So they have guidelines here for creating a GPT and then adding it to the public store. Because when you create the GPT, you can make it public, or you can just keep it for your own use, or you can get a link and you can share that link out with others, but it's never actually in the store. Now, understanding that inside of the GPT store, that is where the money or the gold rush that you've been seeing here on YouTube as this store opened is where they're talking about making the money. So here is the idea. Builders can earn based on GPT usage, but this isn't set in stone yet. They don't even know how they're going to do it. And it says here in Q1, we will launch a GPT builder revenue program. As a first step, U.S. builders will be paid based on user engagement with their GPTs. We'll provide details on this criteria for payments as we get closer. So in Q1, that is right now, it's January 12th, 2024. So taking it out to end of March, that is going to be when Q1 wraps up. So that's when it's expected to understand exactly how much money you might be able to make when you create a GPT and put it up in the public store. Now let's take a look at a real example. You can see here an email from InVideo AI, and they have created a GPT inside of the GPT store, and they are letting me know about it, and they're also giving me the steps on how to use it. Now, of course, if you go back to ChatGPT, you can go under Explore GPTs, or you can just go to chat.openai.com GPTs, and here we're just looking for InVideo. Let me back up a second here. You can see the recently used ones that I've used already. You can see Video AI by InVideo, but if you were to search for it, you could just type in InVideo, and then that would open up. Then again, you would open that up, and you can see here it looks like a regular chat, and of course you can close the sidebar, and you can see here that this is the chat that I'm having inside of the Video AI by InVideo GPT. So this is the context, or everything inside of this has been set, the context, the prompt. It has been staged for you by InVideo, and you can see the basic idea or the use case that they gave me was to create a video, because InVideo AI is an AI video creator. So create a video about the history of electric cars. You can see here that it talked to Video AI in video.io. This is the programming that I talked about earlier. This is actually ChatGPT, or their GPT has been instructed to contact their server or connect via API to generate this context. Then you can see the video titled, "The Evolution of Electric Cars, A Journey Through Time" has been created. You can watch it by using the following link. Then they link you to ai.nvideo.io. So now you're linked over to their brand, to their site. Of course, when you click that link, it takes you over. If you don't have an account, then you would need to create an account. Here, I'm just going to simply go ahead and join with Google. Then you can see once you've logged in with Google or you've created your account and they have collected your account information, or now they have you as a lead, they're generating the video for you based upon the script inside of ChatGPT. Of course, here is the upgrade button over here in the right-hand corner. They give you a free account, show you how it works, show you how you can connect from ChatGPT or enter a simple prompt. Then it'll connect you over to their brand, to their server, to their product, and that's how they're going to generate money or revenue, by collecting you as a lead and following up with you. But also understand that they will get paid for having a public GPT built in the store for people that are using it. Of course, again, going back to where OpenAI has introduced the GPT store, again, understand that we are looking at Q1 before this revenue sharing program comes out and all the details come out. But really, that is the way you're going to be making money. Now, could you create your own, like the Elvis King thing, where you have a good idea and set a context? I think you could, but I don't think the revenue is going to be that great. It would be like creating content here on YouTube and becoming part of the YouTube Partner Program. Depending on your niche, depending on the type of video that you make and how much traffic you get to it, obviously, is going to dictate how much money that you make from these ChatGPTs. So the idea of this being a real gold rush, unless you already have something like what InVideo has done, or another example, if you were to go back over to ChatGPT, I use this plugin a lot called VoxScript right here. Now, VoxScript is a plugin, and remember when the plugin store was huge and people were creating plugins, now people are porting, or they are taking the idea of a plugin and they're taking it and they're making a GPT, a custom GPT based on that plugin. So this VoxScript plugin, what I did here is I just used it to summarize and give me some bullet points of a YouTube video. And I use this all the time to get information from videos. But then you can see down here that the VoxScript is taking the step of letting me know that they've just launched the official VoxScript GPT packed with even more features, and you can upgrade to the Vox GPT instead of using the plugin, so you get the full benefits of GPT-4 without the plugins. You can click here. Now this takes me over to VoxScript, and you can see here I can start a new chat. If I click about, it tells me about everything that is available, to include data analysis and DALL-E right here inside of GPT-4 inside of VoxScript. Whereas with the plugins, I don't have access to this data analysis or the DALL-E, because the plugins gives you a special environment where you just have access to the plugins. So this is why VoxScript is moving to that. But you can see that they've led me over to the GPT inside of the plugin. So now the idea here, or again, the gold rush at the time for plugins was you're going to be able to make money using ChatGPT by creating plugins. Now it's moving towards GPTs, and VoxScript is letting me know about their GPT because, again, they want to do like everyone else. They want to get you over, use their product, or see how well their GPT works, and then lead you over to their website. And of course, you go back to that VoxScript, you can see here that you can connect, or if you create a public GPT, you're linking people over to your website. So here you can see the website that created VoxScript, or the company, the brand that created this GPT, that eventually will get paid once they start this revenue sharing program. But really, all in all, is it for the average ordinary Joe or marketer like you and me? Is it a gold rush? Let me know what you think in the comments. I really think that you, or if you have a brand and you're working with people and you set a specific context, for example, that silly Elvis idea that I gave you, if you have a way of creating a piece of content for a blog post or for a YouTube video or a social media post or emails, and you want to share that with your group or your following, you could create a GPT, a custom GPT. You could share out that link, and it may never go on the public marketplace, but you would still be making quote unquote money from using GPTs, or what I think is eventually going to look like what we see here on YouTube or any other platform that does revenue sharing. Of course, there's no ads yet inside of ChatGPT, but the idea there would be everyone is inside of ChatGPT Plus or Teams. They're paying a premium membership, so you're going to get a small cut of that, or you're going to get a small amount of money based upon the traffic that you bring to the platform and how often or how many people utilize your custom GPT. And of course, again, I think that will only be if you are in the public or you get approved for it to go into the public store. Again, all the details have not been released. Again, let me know what you think about this new AI gold rush. Also, let me know if you're using custom GPTs, because honestly, at this point, I already have my own process and procedures in place, and I have a flow or a workflow where I create content using ChatGPT. But I do see a way, and I'll be sharing shortly, with some ideas where I create my own custom GPTs. And if you are interested in those when I share them with you, of course, I'll share them with you and other people in my audience as I think they'll work for them or for you, because I think you could create something, or a lot of people use custom GPTs to create something for themselves that may never ever make sense for other people to use. But again, it is exciting times here in AI and ChatGPT and custom GPTs. I do see the power in it. I see the benefit even as a marketer for creating, or really pausing to think how you could create a custom GPT to share with your audience, or with just the public GPT store to get found inside of the GPT store for a very specific use case. So go ahead, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, and that you made it this far and you're really looking at using ChatGPT, or you're looking at every way that you can make money with ChatGPT and not just relying on the fact that you might be able to create a public GPT and make a little bit of money from the revenue sharing program. Because again, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of money for regular folks like you and me inside of that store, based upon the type of thing that we saw within video and other programs I'm sure that you're using. And go ahead, again, in the comments, let me know what you're seeing out there. Let me know what you're thinking. And thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.